Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So you know how we're all told to slap on that sunscreen, right? Especially here in Australia, where the sun can be absolutely brutal. Well, it turns out the whole system might be getting a serious facelift, and honestly, it's about time. We're talking about a major shakeup for Australian sunscreens, and it's all because of some pretty concerning product scandals. Personally, I think it's wild that something as crucial as sun protection could have such a gaping hole in its testing. The idea that you might be slathering on a product that claims to be SPF 50, but is actually closer to SPF 4? That's not just disappointing, it's genuinely dangerous. What makes this really interesting is that Australia already has some of the strictest regulations in the world for sunscreens, and yet, this still happened. It really makes you question what else might be slipping through the cracks. Now, the core issue here, as highlighted by a report from Choice, is that a significant number of sunscreens fail to meet their advertised SPF ratings. We're talking about 16 out of 20 products tested, including some premium brands. One particular culprit, Ultraviolet, had a product claiming SPF 50+ that tested at a mere SPF 4. Can you imagine? That's a massive difference and a huge betrayal of consumer trust. In my opinion, this isn't just a minor blip. It's a fundamental flaw in how we're verifying these products. The Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA, is proposing some pretty significant changes. They're looking at improving and expanding testing requirements, making sure the labs doing the testing are accredited, and generally boosting transparency. From my perspective, this is a step in the right direction. The current system, where sunscreens are regulated after they hit the market rather than being assessed beforehand, seems like a recipe for disaster. It's like letting the fox guard the henhouse, isn't it? One of the most talked about proposed changes is the move away from specific SPF numbers on labels. Instead, we might see labels like low, medium, high, and very high. Now, this is where it gets a bit controversial. Andy Kelly from Choice argues that people are familiar with the SPF numbering system, and it's used globally, so the numbers just need to be accurate. I tend to agree with him on that. While I understand the desire for simplicity, stripping away the numbers feels like it could lead to more confusion, especially if the new categories aren't clearly defined and consistently applied. What many people don't realize is that the variability in SPF testing itself is a real issue, and perhaps the numbers, when accurate, give a more precise indication than broad categories. However, the TGA is focusing on improving the reliability and transparency of SPF testing and the quality of ingredients, especially for cosmetic sunscreens that often claim high protection. This is crucial because, let's be honest, a lot of people use these for their daily routine, not just at the beach. The fact that the safety of ingredients isn't part of this review, nor are products specifically for children, is something to keep an eye on. But for now, the focus on SPF accuracy is a massive win. What this whole saga really suggests is that we can't just take claims at face value, especially when our health is on the line. The Australian sun is no joke, with an estimated 2 out of 3 Australians experiencing at least one skin cancer removal in their lifetime. So, when we buy sunscreen, we're not just buying a cosmetic, we're buying a vital layer of protection. This overhaul, if done right, could be a game changer for consumer confidence. It raises a deeper question. How many other everyday products are we trusting that might not be as effective as they claim? Ultimately, the goal is for consumers to be able to trust that the SPF claims on their sunscreen are accurate. It's about ensuring that when we're out there under that harsh sun, we're actually getting the protection we paid for. What are your thoughts on the proposed changes, especially the move away from SPF numbers? Let me know in the comments below.